Are you struggling with self-sabotage? Is this a thing for you? Well, let me tell you, for most people it is. And the peculiar aspect of self-sabotage is that sometimes it's so subtle that we don't even know it is self-sabotage. We may confuse it with procrastination, with laziness, with lack of organization. We may externalize the responsibility. It's not my fault. It's my parents' fault. It's the culture. It's my toxic relationship. It's I'm sick. I cannot do this. We self-sabotage is the devil with 1,000 masks. It can assume every excuse. It can assume every disguise, every person, every place, everything in this world. So that is why it's so subtle and so difficult to exorcise this tendency, this inferior tendency of our character. And I don't know if we can exorcise this forever. It's kind of similar to the ego. It comes back again and bite your what. It's like constantly evolving, and when you fix it in a way, it mold to another thing. It's kind of a flow. And so I think that the definitive solution is to be alert and to be aware. And every time that you notice that you are self-sabotaging, actively, what you need to do is to face it, to conquer, and to adapt. But understanding that a new war, a new battle, is waiting you on the future. It is not done. It's something that is coming again, and this is just a part of the journey process. This is just the journey process itself, or the growth process itself, the personal development process itself. My name is Dr. Derek Israel, and I'm a coach. So thank you for being in this channel. If you enjoy our conversation today, it's going to be a short conversation on self-sabotage. Feel free to subscribe, follow my content, and explore the possibility of working with me one-on-one on your life results and success with my life coaching service. So what is self-sabotage? What do you think, bro? In your own words, and I like to say to my clients, in your own words, what is this? And when I say this to my clients, they always are like, oh, they're like looking at dictionary in their mind, as if the coach will say, yes, you have A, you have a 10, or you have B, or you have a C, or you have a 6, whatever is the classification, right? There's no correct way to define a thing. Language is so relative. The ideas are relative. They are social constructs. They are moldable. So what I like to say is, in your own words, what is to self-sabotage? Because if you can define it in your own words, then you have power over the thing. If you become very rigid and you say, oh no, I don't know the definition of it, I don't know the Google definition of it, notice, then you become a victim. And that is part of the self-sabotage itself. Because now you're saying, if I cannot define it, I cannot control it. Yes, you can define it, but you are so rigid and you're trying to define it as if this was a university exam. This is not a university exam. This is your growth process. This is your life. This is your journey. Who is grading here? Who is evaluating here? No one. This is you with your own mythopoetic legend. You see, so dare to express with your own words. What is self-sabotage for you? Maybe you can leave a comment and express that. But for me, it's the art, if we can say it is an art, or it's the act, let's say, although it may be an art, but it's not a beautiful art, although not all arts are beautiful. But it's the act of consciously or unconsciously putting barriers for your greatness. or putting barriers towards your greatness. And who is doing this? Yourself. And notice, I said consciously and unconsciously. Sometimes you're conscious that you are doing this. Sometimes you're conscious that you are not organized and you do nothing. Sometimes you're conscious that there is a good course out there that you can take to get better in this specific skill. You do nothing. You don't invest, you don't go, you don't even watch the videos, the podcast that can help you. You consciously know some of the potential solutions, but you do nothing. We call this, a conscious self-sabotage. But other times it is not that easy. Other times the self-sabotage is happening on the basement. You are not conscious of that. And those are the most difficult. And you need to, or either one, to develop an stupendous degree of introspection capacity to develop that self-awareness and to uncover and discover that self-sabotage tendency, or you need to ask for feedback to another person that can see you from outside and can see the tendency and can say, hey, I'm looking in your behavior, I'm seeing in your behavior that you are doing this, that, and blah blah blah, and you can be like, oh, and now you're aware. Now, the problem with the second option is that, one, no everyone is gonna be good at seeing your self-sabotage tendencies. Two, even if they see them, they may be afraid to tell you. They are not willing to confront you, to be direct, to be masculine, and to tell you the truth. Because some friendships are based on lies. Some relationships, the infrastructure of the relationship is to lie to each other constantly. And as soon as you say the truth, the relationship shakes. And people are saying, the truth of the relationship, let's say the lie, and let's keep this this guy as a friend. And another problem with other people telling you the feedback is that even if they see the problem, tell you about it directly or assertively, they offer no tip, no pragmatical element, no consultation, no practical courses of action in order for you to get better after the feedback. Because it's not only about understanding the feedback, is about getting better after the feedback, you see. So how can you minimize those stuff? Well, the best feedback that you can ask is the feedback from a professional coach, a professional psychologist, a professional psychiatrist. Those three professions are yes, coaching is the less scientific because it's a lot of it's not a science, although there's a lot of science in coaching, but it is there's no so many research literature as it is presently in psychology and psychiatry. So both those three are scientifically evidenced disciplines that are trained to see behavior, to see patterns of conduct, and to have responses, solutions, resources to solve those problems. Now, they do it differently. For example, psychiatry, they are more focused on the biological aspect, the chemical aspect, and they are experts on providing pills, medication to do that, right? Those are more like their niche and their lens. And sometimes that is necessary. Sometimes can be overabused, of course. Everything can be overabused, but that sometimes it is necessary. The psychologist is more centralized in the psychic system, how your psyche is working and how symptoms may be corrupting the personality, and therefore by treating that, they can give you more solutions to problems. The coach is an expert on seeing your potential. Notice how different is this, the lens. The coach can see your potential. Worried about your he's not worried about diagnosis, symptoms, anything like that. There's no that. There is zero diagnosis in coaching, right? We don't diagnose people. People in coaching are complete, total, perfectly fine with all the resources available to do it, to go big, to explode their potential, and the coach is there to make sure that that happen, unleashing the potential of the client with questions, for example, with resources, with exercises, with auto suggestions, with affirmations. So notice the professional, the psychiatrist, the psychologist, the coach, they all can see behaviors that may be problematic for you. And each discipline can give you a different solution based on their field of study. Sometimes you can take the best of the three of them. Sometimes with psychology you are enough, or with coaching you are enough. With psychiatry only enough, I don't know. Maybe some cases. But most cases, if they are complex, they need a psychologist and a psychiatrist at least working together, right? But professionals can give you this feedback. And we spend years and years studying about this stuff, studying human behavior, studying results. The good professional also is experimenting in his own life. The techniques, the therapies, the resources that is going to provide you. Because it's not only about testing this in a control experiment, but the phenomenology, the experience is very valid for a human connection and for a human direction. It is not the same for me to recommend you, oh man, you need to try, for example, something that I haven't done. So what I haven't done is acupuncture. I'm about to do it though, but I have never tried before. I will not have the same power to recommend you acupuncture because I have never do it. I may say, some clients say that acupuncture help, and the research say so you should try. But I cannot say, man, acupuncture, this is something that may change your life. And I cannot say that with a lot of conviction because I haven't tried. But I have tried nootropics, and I can tell you, man, nootropics are awesome. Just experiment with them, be responsible, and I can do this, with cold exposure. I can do this with affirmations. I can do this with systemic journalism. I can do this with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of techniques and personal development resources that I already explored with and drive it results. And that is basically the whole notion of all the videos that I'm launching on my YouTube channel and in my other channels and other social media, is basically exposing you to different resources and coaching technologies for your personal growth. So follow me here and watch the content, practice, and grow. So the other thing that you can do, as I said, is to develop this introspection capacity to understand when you are doing this. And how do you do this? Well, for this you need a lot of self-discovery, and sometimes this is only possible through meditation. Thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of meditation. When you start meditating, you start becoming what in Buddhism they call it like the observer. And the observer is like a meta consciousness that can observe your consciousness. So it's like you become the Ant-Man instead of the Avatar. That is from the Hinduism perspective. The Ant-Man is like the god, the Brahman. And the Avatar is like, your human avatar. Your human. Yes, the Avatar is the perfect word for it. Now that we are, looking forward to the metaverse, and let's say it is your human vessel, human mechanic being, right? So if you are only focused on the consciousness of your humanity, you will misperceive or underperceive your self sabotage tendencies, because there is nothing evaluating from afar, from a cosmic perspective. But how you develop that cosmic perspective? Well, a lot of hours of meditation can bring that, definitely. That is part of the awesome perks of meditation. Now, not everyone wants to meditate so much, right? So that long, sadly. So that's why a coach may be good for you. What is the best case scenario? Dude, hire the professional and also learn to meditate so that you can also be self-aware of your tendencies and to correct them. Because if you are going to depend from a professional for your entire life, you're missing on the self-healing capacity that we all have. And yes, there's sometimes some periods, some transitions in our life that we need the professional, of course. But in the continuous of our life, sometimes we are not going to go to a professional. Sometimes it is a path of self-healing and self-correction and spiritual correction. And sometimes you are all by your own. So it's about that. It's about doing both, and in different parts or times of your life, knowing exactly which one to do. And understand this subject is so important, because if you don't correct your self sabotage tendencies, definitely and constantly, in the eternal evolving statement and state of flux or flow of the tendencies, you will fall short in your greatness. Those big vision that you have for your life, that may be not a thing that will happen, because your self-sabotage will produce such a friction, such a resistance, that the end result will be short. And that is not what you deserve. What you deserve is the struggle, of course, because with struggle you grow, but a victory in the end. We are not in this path of personal development and self-transformation to be defeated at the end, because that only ensures or reflect that our ego won, not your spirit. No, you don't want your ego to win. You want your spirit to win, and to spirit to accommodate your ego to itself and to become a universal ego, the observer, the mystical consciousness, the enlightenment, the nirvana perspective, salvation, self-actualization, crystallized in a mindset, in a consciousness, in an everyday perspective that inform your actions, that inform your relationships, that inform your sexuality, that inform your habits, your business, your marketing, your money, your financials. You see how everything connects, and everything can be that good if you go with momentum. But in order to generate that momentum in your life, what is the thing that is in the way? What is the thing that is in the way? Your self-sabotage tendencies. What are those? What are those? Procrastination, smoking, laziness, distraction, drama, infidelity, fear, doubt, being disintegrous, not integrous, not real, not authentic, keeping a toxic family, bad wasting your money, Not saving, not investing, not learning your financial IQ, not exponentializing your financial IQ, your EQ, emotional coefficient, your IQ, intellectual, reading. You know what is it? You know what is it? You at least some of them. Now work constantly to get rid of them. Work diligently to get rid of them. And hire a coach that can help you and make you accountable, responsible, and committed long term to remove those of your life and to become your greatest self. My name is Dr. Derek Israel, and I may be that coach. If you're interested, just go to the link in the description and you will receive a free orientation for how we can work this together. Also remember to share this video, to like, to comment some of your self-sabotage tendencies down there, and I can maybe coach you for free a little bit in the comment sections, and I can help you that way. And I hope that you enjoy this content. If you did, subscribe and keep watching the new content. Thank you, and I see you in the next one.